Jews, New Agers too.
Right.
I mean, like, Charles Giuliani, like, becoming like he's saying he's not an atheist, but it sounds like an atheist to me. The thing is like this, the reason, I'm not caring that he's not Christian anymore, it's just like he's being viciously anti-Christian, and it's really forced. It doesn't feel real, you know? It's like, I don't think it's like he's like, someone's making him, or he's doing it for money. I'm telling you, man, this guy's he's become an agent. I don't give a fuck what happened, if they threatened him, or like, he had sex with a dog and they had like pictures of it, man. I don't give a fuck, dude. That ain't my fucking problem, man. The only thing you have to fucking do is not do this fucking show anymore. I mean, like, what the fuck happened, Charles Giuliani?
I honestly do not know. I do know that, you know, we have to consider that even people who are big into the, quote, anti-Zionist movement are very much have a probability of being controlled as well. Because, again, you can look at Hitler. And they need, I mean, you know, the best thing that ever happened to the Jews was, quote, anti-Semitism. Because this is what's allowing them to pass these laws. I mean, you know, you look into the even a lot of the neo-Nazi movement, and when you really break it down and look at
it's always all Jewish, dude. I'm sorry I interrupt you. I gotta say this one little thing, and you could continue. I live in Sweden. We have they're not neo-Nazis, they're real fucking Nazis, okay? I meant like people who are like, you know, descendants of Nazis who still are Nazis. Every Nazi I've come across, they've always been a Zionist, and they've freely admitted, yes, I'm a National Socialist and I'm a Zionist at the same time, even though they like never admit it in America. And let me I mean, it's like shocking. Like when I talk about the shit like about Zio-Nazis, like I get like attacked on like you know, usually by stupid Americans who don't know fucking truth. But I'm telling you, it's like it's 100% fucking true, man. It's like National Socialism is like is Ashkenazi Zionism, man. Let's say it right now. Please continue what you were saying.
Well, one thing I can also see with the whole, quote, neo-Nazi movement is that it draws a certain type of antisocial, anti-intellectual thug. Not because they have anything to do with the philosophy or the politics. It's because they truly are just looking to be in some antisocial, I'm bad type of situation. And I think by doing that, I think the ball really gets rolling to totally be able to easily tar the minute you start speaking about things like the protocols or the Talmud or any of these kinds of things. You're branded one of these vicious thugs who are not intellectual whatsoever and just a big bully. And I think that really works to the advantage of the Zionist movement. I truly
100%, dude. But what about Charles Giuliani, man? What's your opinion of him? What the fuck happened to him, man?
I honestly don't know. I don't know enough about that to really comment. I know that he's had some great past shows.
Yeah.
Recently, I haven't actually been listening to anything he's been saying. My opinion, just based on what you're saying here, the whole anti-Christian thing that's happening, see, I don't know where he's coming from, but to a lesser degree, I am kind of anti-Christian as well.
Oh man, come on.
but it's because the Christians, again, to me, are essentially Zionists. They have to support Israel as a political notion because they're God's chosen people. In true Christianity, peace, in the words of Jesus, I 100% support. But Christianity, at least in the United States, has become a political movement, and they are the biggest warmongering class of people, I suppose. You know, you look at the invasion of Iraq would have never happened had it not been for the, quote, Christian conservatives. So as a political movement, I vehemently oppose what has happened because Christianity was never supposed to be a political movement, but rather a way of life and peace for everyone.
Time to confront Bluegrass. Direct question. Are you an atheist? Are you agnostic? Or are you the other thing where you don't even care about the question?
I am a Christian, but by but by saying I'm a Christian does not mean that I subscribe to this Christian political pseudo system, I suppose, that's being created. In other words, if I talk to another Christian on the streets, professed Christian, I'm probably going to disagree with about 90% of what they say. When you break it down to the words of Jesus, I'm a Christian. I've actually attended church. I haven't in the last 8 months, and, you know, I had a lot of reasons for that. I don't want to be preached politics, which is happening in a lot of the churches today, that we have to support Israel no matter what, and this, that, and the other. But no, I absolutely consider myself a Christian. I have Christian values. I believe that, you know, you have to come to Jesus Christ. You know, not that I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anything else, but I do believe he's the way, the truth, and the light. And I believe that, like the book of Revelations, that we have to be very careful of the Jews who profess to be Jews, but they are the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah, and Judaizers. Don't forget that it's in the Bible. That word Judaizer is. Let me. Thank Alhamdulillah. You're not like an atheist, but like, even though I do hang around atheists. Ogner is atheist, and you know, I'm get along rather well with him. Let me ask you, why are atheists? Okay, you can be anti-Christian or atheist, fine. Okay, no one cares. Why do you have to be like you say the most vicious and disgusting things about like the Messiah? I mean, like. What do you have to see these like? I'm not gonna even repeat this shit because it fucking pissed me off. Okay, like, if you say like Jesus' name, alayhi salam. They go crazy. They start saying the most vile, horrible things. I mean, why does atheism have to go together with this disgusting behavior, dude?
Well, I don't mean to get religious here, but you know.
Oh, please do. No.
You know, I truly believe we are close to, I guess, the end times, for lack of a better word. I think all of this was going to happen in the Bible, and it has. I think what happened is that the Zionist movement has really co-opted the Christian movement. And as well as the atheist movement. These people do hate Christ. There is no doubt. They can call themselves 100%. There is a hatred there.
What about this newest disinformation they're spreading? Like, that like the Talmud really doesn't say anything about Jesus alayhi salam. That's just like they're talking about somebody else. This is like they really are like grabbing at straws right now. But you keep on talking about like these the form of Christianity in America, but like you do understand it was basically that Darby guy, and it's basically was a British disinformation campaign for this. I'm sorry, I lived in Sweden for such a long time I can't speak English anymore. But I'm talking about the rapture and like this rapture disinfo about like when it's going to occur,
Absolutely.
What's going to happen when it occurs. They're all going to be taken up. This all comes from England, right?
I do. Well, interestingly enough, see, that's going to be used to trap people. And again, I don't mean to be like, preaching at anyone or anything like this. But here's what happens is that in the book of Revelations, it says consistently that the true believers are going to have to endure to the end. You're going to have to face the persecution. You're going to have to face this. Now, this rapture idea is being presented as, we're not going to have to face this. So what's happening here is these Christians think, we're going to be, lifted up and we're not going to have to face this. Forget about the entire book of Revelations that says you're going to have to face the persecution. And so as we get closer to that time, the sign that they're going to be looking for based on this disinformation campaign is going to be a rapture that is completely made up. They're never going to see it coming. And
let me pose this question to you. Okay, let's say fine, the rapture will occur exactly how like that pig Hagee talks about. It doesn't matter. You're still supposed to do only the right things. You can't like turn a blind eye to evil.
But they have.
I know, but just because let's say you will be how can you be a good Christian and like not do the right thing? That makes no sense to me. Even if you're going to be raptured.
That's because the Christian organization as a whole has been so co-opted.
By Freemasons, it's shitty little Freemasons.
Yes,
Freemasons, especially like let me tell you, man, you can't be a Christian and a Freemason at the same time. I'm going to supply some good links in the show description. And like all these these preachers and pastors, like let me tell you, they're like Freemasons, okay, man. Like they're not Christians because like since Freemasonry is a religion, in itself, you're basically being preached to by like someone of another religion about Christianity. I mean, I don't know what church you go to, but like how many Freemasons are in it, and is the pastor a Freemason, but to your knowledge?
The last church I attended, I can guarantee the pastor was not a Freemason. However, he was very corrupted by, a lot of these people who are Christians, what's happening here is their own fault because they don't read their own Bible. Jesus didn't preach war. So when I have somebody telling me we need to kill Arabs, but we're Christians,
what about the Arab Christians? I mean, that's what I don't understand.
I mean, well, that's a misnomer. I mean, there can't be any, of course. I mean, the Christians really, really, truly do not understand or take the time to read their own Bible, because they have been, and this has went on for generations. This isn't something that just happened out of thin air, and you can trace the history back to how this happened, but it's been so co-opted that it is really just a political organization right now, and they surround these people, and they do use brainwashing techniques, and you're surrounded by a group of people, and you're told, essentially how to vote, how to think, how to act, and if you don't do these things, regardless of if they're contrary to the Bible or not, what these people are trying to do is impress men and not God.
Oh, people are going to ask right now, and they're going to wonder, what denomination is Bluegrass?
I actually am no denomination, but the last church I attended was Pentecostal.
Wow, that's kind of shocking, because like usually it's Pentecostals have been like the you could almost say Pentecostals and Methodists are almost the state Freemasonry is the state religion of America, but superficially they've been like Pentecostals and the Methodists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't you? That's what I was wondering. Don't you get like a lot of pro-America, like gun-ho-ism from like being around other Pentecostals and Methodists?
I personally no, but I saw it happen, and I saw people being told how to vote. I mean, which was absolutely unbelievable during the initial election back with Gore against Bush. I was very, very heavily involved with the church. And I saw people literally being told how to vote. And
disgusting.
And you see what happened here, because again, as all Bush had to do was say, "Hey, look, I'm a Christian." Regardless of how he acted.
And he wasn't, dude. He was like a shitty little, not just a Freemason, a satanic
Absolutely.
Freemason.
Absolutely. And I mean, so the whole anti-Christian thing, I understand that a bit, and I think that was all, by making Christianity be a political force, people who oppose the political force are turned off from true Christianity. And all it's doing is snowballing. There's going to be such hatred for Christians for what they have done as a political body, when Christianity has nothing to do with politics. And the churches are so political right now, they will tell you, if you don't vote the right way, they don't actually say this, but you can kind of see where they're coming. If you don't vote for the godly man, then you're voting against God. If you don't support Israel fully, then you're going to burn. And, you look at what these people do, and it's like, wait a minute, we have to not just be given... I don't think Jesus would be very happy about the treatment of our Palestinian brothers and sisters right now.
People are gonna this show is rather most of the people listening to us live outside of America or don't even hardly speak English that well. I know because I talk to them. But people are gonna wonder how